the next point, which is vision setting and strategic alignment. I was telling the first people in the other session I had, I said the best way to lead people is to lead with a vision. The best way to lead is to lead with a vision, because people don't follow people, people follow vision. So now let's now look at vision, setting, and strategic alignments. How many of us have worked with, okay, I think only two of us have worked in corporate settings before. Okay, no, not two. Femi is here, Christy, Treasure, Magistrate. I think quite a number of us have worked in corporate settings before. Now, what is vision setting? It means as a leader, you must define a clear direction for your organization. You must define a clear direction for your organization and ensure that the people, the resources, and the action are consistently moving towards that direction. That is your goal. So the goal of a leader is practically ensuring alignment. I think I was explaining one of the sessions where I said leadership has two parts: strategic leadership and operational leadership. And if you ask me, I will tell you that strategic leadership actually drives operational leadership. If there is poor strategic leadership, there will be poor operational leadership. If there is excellent strategic leadership, there will be excellent operational leadership. It's very key. So when you are having your company or when you want to lead with a vision. Okay. Now, your vision is not just a statement on paper. It is a shared understanding of where the organization is going and where it matters. And let me say this to you: when you want to craft the vision of an organization, don't sit down and craft it alone. It does not create a sense of shared ownership. Did you get it? When you want to create a vision, don't sit down. It's just like an husband. If you're an husband, you want to create a vision for your family. I believe every husband should have a vision for the family. How many of you agree with me? Single people are raising their hand. I don't understand. I don't understand. What do you know by crafting vision for the family? I don't understand. I was teaching the other class. I was telling one of the ladies. I said, no. I'll be a family by 7.5 years time. I said, you don't get it. She didn't even think of it. This one to said I'll have family in the next 2 years. Okay, see, you said. Oh, you said next 2 years. I said, I envy you now. We don't plan now. Some of us, they forced us. No. They are online. They don't force us. So they are online. Please. I will have hope to return to. But what I was saying is that it is important that your leadership is a shared leadership. Let there is a sense of ownership. Don't just call and say, everybody come together. This is our vision. You understand? Follow it. Thank you very much. No. Okay.
I wanted to ask that I understand that there is shared ownership, but how do you do shared ownership in the sense that before the full team was formed, you already had a vision of what the organization was supposed to do. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Let's say I'm trying to start up a business, I'm trying to start up an organization. They have a vision for that business. How do I come to the point where the people I'm bringing in, it becomes a shared vision? Or because you said that not just a statement on paper, but a shared understanding of where the organization is going. So for the people that are coming in on board, how does it become a shared vision for them? How do they come into to the point where it becomes a shared vision for them.
Okay, I get your point. But your assumption is based on the fact that you cannot be coming to the table with an empty brain. That you as the founder will have had the original idea. Now, yes, you are correct. But you are coming to the table and say, this is the vision, everybody. Contribute to it, criticize it. Let us improve on it together. It's different from, it's just like me now. I have a plan. And I say, babe, this is the plan for the family. Let's look at it. Okay, this one. Okay, well, no, this one to not work. Or I think this one should be delayed to this period, to this period, to this period. So it's not like if we are crafting it from scratch. I have done a lot of groundwork and brain work. I am now just cascading the information to you. Like, I'm not just communicating to you so that we can now have a shared understanding of it. So from the way you are looking at it, okay, I think this one works. I think this one is coming too early. I think this one, I think that is what we mean by shared ownership. So you're not coming to the table empty-handed. You are coming to the table with the founder's anointing, the founder's grace. You're just saying, okay, bring your own input to it. Okay. Now, the vision statement of an organization is not what is written on the wall. Most organizations, if you enter GT Bank, if you enter most banks in Nigeria, you always see their vision statement to be the blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. Yet their daily work do not do this. This happens because people often treat vision as a slogan instead of being a guide. So what that means is that a vision without alignment creates activity without progress. You know, one of the things I think that when we are planning this project, so the goal is that we are trying to put your publicity so you can put all of us are looking fine. You can see Susan, she's looking fine. I hope the camera can zoom on so your son can see you. I will have taken care of you. Please, can you let us see Susan's face on live streaming? Live streaming, please, can you? Our time is online. Thank you. You cannot relate, but it's okay. So what is vision setting? What is vision setting? A vision setting is the process of defining a clear and meaningful picture of the future of the organization. Vision setting is the process of defining a clear and meaningful picture of the future of the organization wants to achieve. A strong vision is simple and purposeful and easy to communicate. Now, I don't want us to make this thing empirical. I want us to make it pragmatic. Who can give us an example of how many of us plan to have a company or an organization in the future? Christy, Femi, Bright. Yeah, doctor, what do you want to have? Eh? They are skinny. Beyond medicine. Love is your strength. I will call the project manager because to the glory of the Lord, he has built about 5 companies. Celebrate great. No, I'm not joking. He has built fadaka.com. As I'm telling you, I'm checking it. Clap, 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 clap. He has built Future Point Africa. Clap, 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 clap. He has built Voice and Voices. Clap, 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 clap. There's one he's building now. And they see. Please clap, 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 clap. And he has built Obudu. Kubiku. Oh, I know this Kubiku. Kubiku. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And he has built Oluwatoni, why are you not siding me this morning? He has built no, there's one I'm not remember. No, yeah. What is your last expression now? What I used to do on special Aquifer Congress. So now, because like I said, I don't want us to make this thing. All of us are young people. Many of us we have an organization. I would have an organization, that is sure. I think Bright, that is even a doctor that should be treating sick people, said it want to kind of organization. Is okay. Vision setting is the process of defining a clear and meaningful picture of the organization you want to achieve. So anybody can actually do that. I'm just saying that can we look at a practical example of how that works for you in your own case? Femi, please pass the microphone. The people are live, so no, I think there's something is passing around. No, treasure, please.
Yeah, start. No, start.
Okay. So I'll start with Future Point Africa. Future Point Africa is a youth-focused organization. We identify leaders, thinkers, innovators to equip them with the knowledge and tools to help them create, to help them transform the future of Africa. Because as we know,
No, say it again, please.
Okay. Future Point Africa
Okay.
is a youth-focused organization
Okay.
that is dedicated to identifying, connecting, and equipping innovators, audacious young people, dreamers, learners, leaders to get the tools and resources they need to transform the future of Africa.
Is that clear enough? I wish I have a mark. I will have written it out. It's website's live.
Yes.
No, because like I said, I didn't want us to just do the tendency of this particular study to be abstract to us is very high because many of us have not been there. So I think it's FPA dot. Okay. Okay. So let's look at a vision statement of an organization. Connecting brightest minds to create a better opportunity. Future Point Africa identifies, connects, and empowers African brightest minds, young visionaries, thinkers, innovators, and audacious leaders. Very simple. What do? We identify them, we connect them, and we empower them. And that is number one, our mission. They were our audience, young visionaries, thinkers, innovators, and audacious leaders. So the scope of what they are doing is very clear. So they are not doing boy-child education, not doing girl child education. They're not doing women and youth empowerment. Magistrates. So And then you can see their focus area: leadership and development, innovation and creativity, education and future of work. And then you can see some of their programs, previous programs. We have 2. We have, okay, I think I need this period. Okay, so that is just an overview of what is a vision setting. So you have a vision. So you know what you are doing, you are identifying, you are connecting, and you are empowering. So all your conferences, your seminars, your meeting, they are all achieving that. So when you say a company is focused on that, that is what you are achieving. You're not doing something else. You're not doing another thing again. So vision articulation is very clear. And it has to be simple. Is this simple enough? Is it simple enough? Very simple. In fact, it's not even as simple as some of the biggest vision statements. What is Apple's vision statement? What is Nokia? Connecting people. Kole. You don't have to. This one is even not so simple. What is Apple's vision statement? Nokia is connecting people. Okay. Okay, so Apple's vision is to make the best product on earth and to leave the world better than we find it. Like, those are examples of visions. We can look at this now. Apple's mission statement and vision statement. Now, like I said, I don't want to, because this topic has a tendency to be abstract. I say, okay, that's what I'm trying to try to bring it to our everyday life. Now, Apple's mission statement defines goals for business effectiveness and industry leadership. The vision and mission statement reflect business focus of the time of Steve Jobs. Apple's mission encourage innovation for competitiveness as well. Okay, is to create technology that empowers people and enrich their life. So look at 3 cardinal points. Number 1, creating technology. Number 2, empowering people. Number 3, enriching their life. So every technology that we want to create, we want to say, is this empowering people? Is this enriching people's life? Like, those are the things that we have to consider when we are doing that. So that is their own vision statement. So now, I mean, of course, I want to have organizations. Let me see your hand up. Let me come and corner all of you. I don't know if one of you want to have organization. Don't answer, I will always up my hand again. I want to have organization. Okay, so Oluwatoni, what's organization vision statement?
So Uncle Aid is an organization.
Uncle Aid.
Uncle Aid.
Oncology.
Yes.
Uncle Aid. Okay, yeah.
Uncle Aid is an organization that makes use of African immunological studies to create new therapies for reproductive cancers for women in Africa to reduce prognosis outcomes and effectively change the quality of life.
Oh, go. Because the goal is to make it as memorable as in people's mind as possible. Now, we know that it is just trying to be as to describe it in food, but it also risk being if it cannot be reduced without losing is what is the best word? With touch is okay, but the goal is also to make it memorable and leave lasting impression in people's mind. But I think it clearly defines and understands. But without asking you what does it involve, you already told me what it involves. You told me the target audience and everything is clear. So, Bright, what's your vision statement?
Well, I don't think there's a vision statement for now, but I think I would like to use focus of the organization and health organization is to build healthy people and healthy cities.
What the vision statement for again? building edge people and edge cities. It is not Kulofa. Now, so I want to now ask, me, I don't have anything I'm doing with my life. So how do you craft your vision? Femi, what's your vision statement?
Providing better internet service.
Better internet service. Ah,
It's not yet.
that vision statement is squash or cut vision statement. You need to. You said? Tijan. I will show your profile too now. I will just type Tijan. I need to get everything for me. No, like I said, I don't want you to look like I said, this topic can be so abstract. So we have to now make it down to what everybody can connect easily with. That's my focus. That's why I'm making it like this. So please share your own. Share your own.
Okay. So my personal brand is the Joseph Adeosun. So the vision statement. Is it possible we type it on?
Okay.
LinkedIn? Yes.
It's possible. LinkedIn.
Yes. LinkedIn. Just Joseph Adeosun. Yes. Yes, that's it.
Hope people is not online.
Okay, so because I remember you were saying it has to be short and succinct. If you see the last thing there, it says, I inform, manage, and execute new and improved thoughts to ensure visions thrive. You know, so captures what everything I'm about. I'm about anybody's vision. How do we move it forward? How do we move it from just an idea? How do we manage it into becoming either a product or a service? That's why execute is there. You understand? So because you are not just thinking about it, just managing it in your head. And so, and the other one, driving human capital development in underserved communities, that's for Tijan. That's what we do in Tijan. So the vision, as I said, doesn't have to be if. The shorter it is, the more memorable it is in people's mind. Do you understand? So maybe you see me, you just say, that guy just said something community. You get, you might not know my entire vision statement, but you know that Sha said something that deal with community. Then he said his personal brand, idea, vision. You understand? So just the same way when you see Apple, they say think different. That's their like slogan, their brand statement, and all that. You get, it just gives you a feel of what they are about.
But I'm a bit I need clarity, and I might be wrong. I'm looking at the thought perspective. How do you shape people's thoughts? Because it looks, I don't know, it looks intrinsic. Like I was telling them yesterday, it looks intrinsic. So I'm a bit
Yeah.
I don't know if I get my point. You know, if you say you're empowering lives, I know I'm seeing lives you're empowering.
Yeah.
But how do you shape, how do you inform what is not, what things that Bennett, give me that scripture now. How do you make things that are as though they were?
Yeah, so if you notice, I said I inform new and improved thoughts. So I don't change your thoughts. You understand? Everybody, just the same as we are like this now, if we are talking about this subject.
No, I don't think I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the measure.
No. Okay, how do you scale? Is it scaling it?
Yes, how do you scale? Like what is subconscious in people's minds?
No, you can't scale what is subconscious. You can only scale the product. Because
Okay.
thoughts will always inform action. Do you understand? So
okay.
You can't scale, and that's why there is an execution part there. You can't scale everybody that is doing anything that has to do with empowerment. Even let's not forget empowerment, anything that has to do with education. The whole schooling thing, you can't scale the thought of a child. Do you understand? You can only mark the exam script. So for us here, the exam script is life. Do you understand? So if you when you can scale, you can see your own scaling from improved lives. Do you understand? So when you have a class or maybe a class of people like this, so after this class now, do you understand? I mean, minds will really be redefined. That's thoughts would have improved. Do you understand? But you can't tell how far they've improved. Do you understand? But when you see just Tony here now was able to mention the vision statement of the brand. I think maybe she works closely with you. You know, maybe she would not have been able to do that 5 years ago. Do you get? So that she's able to do that now speaks to a certain development that has underwent. Do you understand? It must mean that she at some point solved an information that improved that thoughts and then invariably improved the way she could act on those thoughts. Do you understand? So the measure really is not in the thoughts. We can't do that. We can't measure anybody's, except you see a shrink or something, that's a different psychological, but you can measure people's output. Do you understand? Yes. So that's the and for me, the output is a thriving vision. Do you understand? So the end goal in all of this improved thoughts or something is for me to see that if I'm working with a brand, do you understand? The purpose of the brand itself is thriving. Do you understand? Yes. So that's what that can be measured. But the thoughts of now
Okay, I
we
think
get there someday.
okay, I think I get the context now. I get the context now. So thank you very much. Please, let's give everybody a round of applause. Okay, as part of the byproduct of this particular training, because I thought about what the outcome of this world record will be. I was very careful because I think I told Tijan when he discussed with me regarding fundraising and a lot of other things. But one of the things I'm also looking at is that based on this meeting, we're going to have an online leadership academy. Based on this, that's going to be strictly training people in cohorts. Like, if as early as next week, it can come on, so that as early as maybe by May, we start with the first cohort, maybe one cohort per quarter, so that we can sustain the drive, because if you're not careful, the drive is just everything just fade away. But we can keep sustaining. Okay, every cohort they're onboarded, and then they go to. It can be 1 week, it can be 1 month, then another cohort they're onboarded, and everything. So, but then I've not articulated the vision statement. So maybe this lesson is as much for me as it is for everyone.
And beauty would be to see everybody as lecturers.
Yes.
Yes,
actually.
And I mean, if you underwent,
especially those that did not sleep that did not go and sleep for 8 hours.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go back to Apple vision statements. Okay, so looking at this now, number one, creating technology, empowering people, and enriching lives. And now, sometimes, and I think that's something I also want to address before we move forward, that sometimes companies craft vision statement that looks like it's for the outside people and not for them. How many of us have seen companies that their vision statement improving the welfare or for the betterment of society, and their staff are not looking bettered? So I always feel that organizations should avoid a process where the vision statement is speaking to the outside except to them. So, and I think that your staff should be the first reflection of your vision statement. Like, if you are saying that we are improving betterment, your staff should be looking like people that are bettered. Okay.
Wise man once said,
Are you the wise man? Okay, who's the wise man?
wise man once said, charity begins at home. But if charity does not begin at home, it
I'm
cannot
not
get
become
clarity
clarity
at home.
about. Yeah.
The wise man is my He said this to my team in 2015, 11 years ago. Yeah, wise. Wow. If you read it, post that before. That's
Okay, so moving on. Now, the other part we're now looking at is now it must give a people a sense of direction and motivation. I read a book many years ago. I mean, as early as um, when I was in secondary school, when NASA was trying to put the first man in space. So they hired a lot of staff. So the NASA head office in US had a lot of staff. So there was a particular staff that was a cleaner at NASA. And that example, when I read it, it just didn't leave my memory. So that time, the US, they were preparing to launch the first man. So I think they are about 3 months to that period of launching the first man into space. So the US president now came to NASA headquarters, was now meeting all the staff. So now go to a corridor and met the cleaner. He was holding the mopping stick and everything. I said, "Oh, good afternoon, Madam Janitor." So the US president, "Oh, nice meeting you." So, "Oh, what do you do at NASA?" Guess what his surprise is? He said, "I'm supporting the team that is helping to put the first man in space." He don't say, "I'm a cleaner, I'm cleaning the floor." Is the sense by which she's cleaning that floor, therefore that I'm part of the team. The same way the man that is going to the space is thinking, the same way all the engineers who are building the spacecraft is thinking. That's what she was thinking. So the way she will clean the floor is not the same way. What is that? Now, I'm saying that when your staff, when they see the vision, even the gate man is not opening the gate like a gate man. Fuck it. Even the gate man is not opening the gate like a gate man. No. So, like when I read that example, so if she's cleaning the desk of this thing, she's cleaning with a sense of cleanness, orderliness, knowing that if this table is clean and is orderly, it stimulates their creativity. When it's cleaning their restroom, it's in that sense of mission. Since I learned that, I said, wow, this is a good example of a company that has let everybody realize that you're not just a cleaner, you're not just the errand officer, you're not just the receptionist, you're not just the admin officer, you are. So the job is not even done like a cleaner. The job is done with a sense of dignity. Say, oh, President, I'm part of the team that is helping to put the first man in space. That is the least person you would have expected to say that. Now, it's because it gives people a sense of purpose and direction. Now, that brings us to the next point, which is where the work is. There is no work in vision sharing. The work is in alignment. And if there is someone in this meeting that I've also related with that can give it to in terms of alignment, it is Adedapo Treasure. You know that me, my nature of person, I'm a spontaneous person. Me, I'm like, oh, let us be going. That alignment will meet us on the road. So yeah, it's no alignment is starting this journey with us. When we wanted to do this project, let me tell you some of the background story. So yeah, is when we assembled the team, I said, oh, guy, give everybody their job. I said, no, nobody's doing anything now. We're supposed to all do meeting for like 3 days. I said, we don't even have one day. That it was, I was like, see, that understanding that you want to give to them, they will get to understand along the way. He said, no, they don't understand. And I was like, oh, but we had an agreement. If not, if I don't collect the work from your hands, let me not go to that. But I think, and I think I also understood the fact, and I think that's how I've known him to be. Now, let me say this because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to sugarcoat this thing. The difficult part will be to get your team into aligned. But if you can get them aligned, you can go to sleep. Like the moment, the difficult part, that alignment months to getting them aligned. But once you get them to bed. So that's why I didn't want to also just read it for you and know. So when you have a company, Femi, and you employ your first staff, your second staff, your third staff, the tough work will be letting these people understand the vision. Once they understand it, you can travel for 3 years. There was a time, I don't know whether I'm going to post this story, around that COVID period, maybe after COVID, when Sam Adeyemi, he traveled for 3 years. None of us know. He left Daystar for 3 straight years. The church was growing. Like, he was not preaching, he was not showing up, he was not doing anything. He said he would just meet with the leaders maybe once a week. Just do a virtual meeting with them. It was in the US. We would do virtual meeting with them. Okay, this. After the virtual meeting is off, he was not involved with who preaches, what they have been preaching. I mean, he was not involved at all. And the church was running for 3 straight years without being physically present. The day he returned back, the first service he had, I live streamed it. I was watching it live. And one that has led the whole church understand the vision. So I'm there, I'm not there. I am sure they are going to do the right thing. And so in leading organization, that is the difficult part. Getting your team members to participate in the vision. But once that is done, you can. The reason you see many people leave companies is because they don't have a sense of mission with the company. And like I said, it's because it requires work. You are resuming today. As you're resuming at 8 a.m., they are carrying file for you. These are the file of the company. I was like, I've not even said to you. She said, don't worry, you will settle on the job. And you don't even know what they are doing. Just okay, let me just any email. What is your company doing? I know that we are doing Karakata. So I'm like that too. Let us start. That alignment, it will meet us on the we will align. I'm aligned now. But tell us like no, it's not align now. Because my own goal is always let's quickly do it. His own goal is always let us not quickly do it. Let us do it. This thing. Please give it up for Treya. Please. No. See, no, I'm saying this because yesterday we discussed personality. Your personality will reflect your leadership. I'm a spontaneous person. In fact, let me play one joke. We plan to do this whole event under 3 weeks. And that 3 weeks was system we should be aligned. Over 2 weeks. And I'm like, look. But what I'm just trying to just say is that because my part of person is that I love spontaneity. He loves, I don't want to say slow, he don't want slowness, but he loves that you do this. I'm like, he's like, no, that is his own personality. That is my own personality. That is me. I'm an extroverted person. I have energy. Let us do it. Let us go. He's like, no, let us calm down. And I don't know much about his marriage, but if I married him, we'll be fighting. No, I'm serious because I want to move and he wants to say, let us wait. I'm like, look at that man. We know what we wanted to do. Yeah, you pump, let's get it done. So what is the lesson I'm proving to you is that your personality reflects your leadership style. But you must be able to still, that's why we discuss adaptive leadership. For you to still model your leadership right. Very essential. Then, now, linking the vision to daily work. Now, how do you now break down your leadership? How do you break down your leadership into practical steps? Like, how do you break the vision into clear goals, clear roles, clear expectations? Like, how do you break the vision? Okay, let's assume that this is the HR manager, this is the operation manager, this is the facility manager, this is admin manager, this is what do they do for this one? This is the legal manager, this is the personal manager to the CEO, this is the CEO himself, this is the COO, and this is the health and wellness manager. Are you not a doctor? Why are you looking at me like that? If you're a doctor, what should I call you before? Operation manager. So all that is all of us. Now, how does it now break that vision of connecting Africa's brightest minds, identifying, networking, and empowering Africa's brightest mind? How does it reflect in his JD, job description? How does it reflect in his, as the health awareness of a manager? How does it reflect in his job description? It's a lot of work. Like, it is a lot of work. And I honestly feel like it is not also something we can exhaust in a class like this. This alone is what people go and do for 1 year MBA. This now is what people do for 1 straight year as an MBA. So the team members need to see how their work contribute to the bigger picture. That's why I gave the example of the cleaner, janitor, that is saying, how does my work? So if you drop the ball, it's not just dropping the ball that is affecting you alone. You're dropping the ball is affecting all of us. So when you slack, we all slack. When you fail, we all fail. Because if you're supposed to come to office at 8 a.m. and the cleaner is coming to office at 9 a.m. because there is hold up, I'm not able to access my office. So the email that should go out at 8 a.m. will not go out at 8 a.m. If it goes out at 8 a.m., we'll have got a response by 4 p.m. No, all those things, like minute things. But the engineer, no, me coming early as the facility manager to ensure that this place is set up for the staff to come in is important. It changes the dynamics of everything. Okay, so now, so the vision has to be broken down into number 1, goals, number 2, actions, number 3, results, and number 4, review. Okay, so I want us to, like I said, I want us to make this thing practical. So now I'm going to use, because we don't have a lot of time. Are you like this now? Treasure. I think it's fine to come on. I'm sweating. Where is future points? Okay. Okay, so now True. So I just did the. Everybody look up. Everybody look up, please. Like I said, this particular lesson, how to make it practical. So now, let me copy this thing of Future Point Africa again. Okay, now let's look up everybody. Look up everybody. Now, Future Point Africa identifies. Okay, my screen is not on. Future Point Africa identify, connects, empowers Africa's brightest minds, young visionaries, thinkers, innovators. Now, based on that vision statement, what are the goals? Number one, talent mapping. Because why? It is going to first of all identify those bright minds. So the first goal of the organization is going to be talent mapping. Now, because it's also networking them, there have to also be what you call ecosystem building. Then, because it's also empowering them, there's also going to be resource mobilization. Like you have to empower them with resources, isn't it? So the identifying aspects of the Africa's brightest mind is where the talent management, talent mapping comes up. The networking is where the ecosystem building comes up. And the empowering is where the training, resource mobilization comes up. Are you now seeing? Now, knowing now that we now have talent mapping, if they have to employ staff, who's the first they will employ? Thank you. Talent manager, for example, or program manager in bracket talent, program manager in bracket talent. Because that person has to start from identifying, sourcing, looking for bright Africa brightest young minds. Then when talent manager comes in, who will you likely employ next? Community manager. Are we seeing how this thing translates to how we are cascading the vision down to the goal, then down to the people that you even need? So you will not need to employ health awareness manager because there's no health awareness. It's not welling them, it's not eating them. Then for resource mobilization, you need to employ maybe program manager for the training. You need to employ resource or fund and grant manager. You need to employ partnership manager. Are we on the same page? Now, so, but all of them now understand that what we are doing together. So my own role in talent, because if I identify rubbish talent, they will do rubbish networking. They do rubbish networking, they will do rubbish empowerment. They do rubbish empowerment, they will have rubbish. How you like this? How you like this now? Are we together? So when you have your vision statement and you articulate it, you are also looking at these factors. And I'm happy we are doing it. So FFKFM is not here. Everyone that is saying, okay, I want to have an IT person. How does it articulate it? Let us look at your own. Oluwatomi. Has it started? Oh, Please give us, can you please honor us with your vision statement? I know it's long, so you ever calm down for a while. Okay, Shima. Okay.
Makes use of African immunological studies.
Don't worry, it will correct.
To create
Mm-hmm.
personalized therapy
Mm-hmm.
for reproductive cancer
Mm-hmm.
in Africa
Mm-hmm.
to improve prognosis outcomes
Mm-hmm.
and help patients live quality life.
That's all. Why is it looking simple now? Okay. Okay, so let's now look at because this is Ed, some of us may not find it interesting, but it's what it is. Okay. So let's look at Oluwatomi's cancer aid now. Okay, so it's assuming that you want to make use of clinical studies to create personalized therapies for reproductive cancer. Now, to be able to do a personalized therapy, it has to start with, first of all, doing a little bit of research into clinical frameworks of African immunological studies. So from that background of a research, so you have to utilize research, you have to start with research. So one of the first staff she will likely need is a research manager. Or let me not say research manager, because research manager is a clinical research officer who will now be the one to, first of all, collect data across different districts. So that data is what will now be studied and then move to the next point now. Personalization. Based on what data pulls, it gives an overview that we can now help you to begin to personalize the development of tailored therapies to individual patient profile. You cannot develop therapy for a disease that you don't even have a profile of the previous, of how it operates across domains. And lastly, to direct focus on reproductive cancer survivor and patient well-being. So a research integration is important. Then, I think for most of what she wants to do, they will not be able to have cancer specialists, oncology specialists, and the likes. So that is just an overview. So she will need probably 2 sets of people or 3 cancer specialists, and then maybe research people. So research and cancer people, and she'll be good to go. So this is how you break down a vision into goals, into practical things, and you are good to go. Now, of course, this is just AI. It still requires some further meditation, because it may not have some contextual understanding of what you want to do, but at least it gives a first brainstorming or something like that. So let's go back to our study. Now, leadership role in alignment. Now, so the moment you now have your organization as the leader, your role will not be, and I think, like I also said, I learned that from Treasure also, your role will not be doing the job. Your role is going to be doing the alignment. Your role will be doing the alignment. So, and I'm saying that because the core work of a leader is not to be doing the job of the people he employed. And I've seen a lot of leaders that's what they are doing. They are doing the job of the people that they employ. And I think, I don't know who I was hearing that from, that said, if I'm also spending, why am I employing you if I'm still going to be doing your work for you? And that is also right. A leader is not supposed to be doing the job. You as the leader, CEO, whatever you choose to be named, should not be the one doing the job. No. The people should be doing the job. Like, the people should be involved. The people should be involved in doing what they should do. So, and like I said, doing anybody's job. And that is where I said earlier that for Treasure, that alignment must be gotten. Because now, because of my own spontaneous reaction, that alignment meet us on the way, it means that I and the people that are doing the job doing together. But if alignment is there for them, they will just be doing it. As long as we hire competent people. But that's also another thing. Maybe we'll get there shortly. I will get to talent management, hiring, retention, and every other thing. So now, leaders must communicate the vision regularly, model commitments, and correct misalignments early. Why? An error that is not corrected early gets perpetuated. I remember first I read this book by, is it Ted Nwokolo, Diaries of Dead Africa. Diaries of Dead Africa. A man traveled. For, it's in African setting. He said he traveled for like 6 months. So when he traveled, the wife was pregnant. Before he came back, the wife was the wife was giving birth. So he now called those days of so he now to the, hello, my husband. It was set in an Igbo setting. Hello, my husband. I've born. Is it a boy again? Is it a boy or a girl? He said, what should we call his name? Now I said, as I was saying, Kala wanted to say Kambina. Kambina, something like Kambina. Now I said, call him Kambina. So because of, I don't know whether you have used those old, it's between sound. They now add calamity. And the man was not educated. Calamity And then they call. You now name the baby Calamity. Calamity. So the man I came back after like 6 months. So it was his first child. Came back, Daddy Calamity. I came back. Calamity is Calamity. I said, Daddy Calamity. I said, Calamity. And but the man is educated. You know what calamity means. But then people, the whole village have rejoiced. They don't know what calamity means. They just believe that, all these foreign names, all these missionary names. I wish to read that book. Very funny. I forgot to treasure has not read the book. So, in that sense, calamity. I said calamity. So, later towards the children grew up bearing calamity because the whole village has been calling calamity. And I said that it was the day he came back and that child was called. He was called that the calamity. The calamity entered his life. Very funny. Very funny deduction. Honestly, don't mind me. This is the book. Very, 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 very. Chumangu Kolo. This was the one I read. Diaries of Dead Africans. I read it not many years. I read it about 12 years ago. But I can narrate the story chapter by chapter because of the way it was so hilariously written. No, now, okay, what I was driving at is that you have to correct misalignment. And somebody said something and said, how do you perpetuate your culture? He said how many of us have read the book Culture Code? Not Culture Code. There's a book called Culture Code. The central theme of that book is that how do you perpetuate the culture of your organization by one method. You call it infinite touch points. Write it down. How do you perpetuate the culture of your organization? Infinite touch points. It means that as a leader, you have to create several touch points that, like, it is woven in. It's not just something you just put outside and that is all. No. All your brand identity, the way you come, everything will reflect that. That's what the culture code is. That the central idea is when you want to perpetuate culture, it is through infinite touch points. Like every encounter with everybody, they feel it. And if there's a bank, an organization in Nigeria that reflects their vision statement, it's UBA. I don't know how many of us know UBA Bank. There's a bank that this is our vision statement, and we reflect it in everything. UBA is not even in reflect it in everything. UBA Bank. So because I'm reading here that you have to communicate the vision, and it's not about calling them. It's not about calling them to say this is the vision. No. Then model commitment. You model it also. Then you correct misalignment early. It was that calamity story that tell us how. Because an error that starts as a simple error. The problem is that an error does not remain an error when it travels down the line. An error becomes magnified when it travels down the line. If the error occurs and say, let's assume that the way the brand name is written, it's supposed to be like this. A, like this. Not that A can be written like this, or can be written like this. You get the point. If the way you wanted it to be like, in fact, one of the organizations that I worked, and that was the first place I understood that you don't tolerate error. Let me give an example. How many of us knows that? Let me open. How many of us knows that these two things? Is there a difference between these two things? Okay, no, wait. Is there a difference between these two things, these three things? Are you sure? What is the difference? What is the difference?
The last one differs from the first. The last one is Aju. The first and the second share some similarity, but they are very distinct. The first one is conceived as an acronym. The second one is not an acronym because space is completely interpreted differently from the dot. Right. So there are very three of them have distinct interpretations, distinct.
When when I was at AGU, if you type like this to send to the president, the email he will send back to you. He said, please, he will not even collect it for you. Send it back an email and said, this is not the acronym for our university. I don't know which universities or which organization acronyms you wrote. No one will reply you. So you have to put A dot D and U does not have dot after it. This is how it should be. Not like this, not like this. But interestingly, some maybe uneducated client that we serve, some of them will just write it like this. It's the same thing now. It's A, D, and U. Some of them will write it like this. Some of them will write it like this. But he will insist that even when they write like you said, no, please correct it, this is like this. That's what I mean by you are very detailed with after 8 hours. I'm looking at you. My eyes are on you. This is for me 20 hours. Just 4 hours to go. Okay. You have a question?
Yes, I also think that also the word organization part. It could be if it is permitted by their planning policy that they want to maintain that or that.
No, this is what the policy permits, actually.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That what is correct will also be inferred by what the organization and leadership has done. So, for example, there's a way you write PWC. You can't write it any other way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So some could be capital letter.
This is how you write PWC.
Yeah.
You don't even write capital letter at all. Not like this. That's not that is not them. This letter is not for them.
From organization, the only place I've seen that LHI is only in the IT. That's where I found but every other official job is LHI houses. So I feel it's how the organization branding policy.
That's what I'm saying, that when somebody now begins to put L small letter H or different variation,
And you permit it.
you begin to correct it. Immediately, I say no. That's the point, that when there is a misalignment of your brand, correct it instantly. And if possible, don't be the one to correct it. Send it back to the person to correct it. But when you correct it, they will not know that you are correcting it. They will still do it the same day. So as if it is 10 times, it keeps sending that. Keep sending that. Please correct it. If it is just one, you send it back. No, of course, these things takes time. But okay, now me, I'm coming from a place where we write our own abbreviation like this. Now, if I come into this place, I may start writing like this first of all, before I get used to it. So, okay. Okay, what are the misconceptions? What are the misconceptions that we need to unlearn? What are the misconceptions that we need to unlearn? Number one, a vision statement alone is enough to guide an organization. Yes or no? A vision statement alone is enough to guide an organization. Yes or no? A vision statement alone is enough to guide an organization. Yes or no? No. Yes. It is no. It's not enough. We need, the vision needs to be, and let me say this also. One of the problems we used to have is that when you are starting small, and I think I also learned that from Treasure, when we are starting small, when you are starting small, there is a tendency to want to do it small, but do it standard, do it structured. Now, let's assume that now this one now want to be the biggest in Africa. Me, I just want to open phone and be repairing phone. That's a vision statement. Remember, two phone shaking, can vision me. Because vision can just be repairing phone. That is the problem. The problem is to say, how many of us here are doing business on WhatsApp? Christy? What's your vision statement? Don't think of it now. Don't,
to be the world's leading peanut butter.
The worst.
The world.
Agbaye.
Peanut butter.
Okay.
Where is it? No.
We ate it here. No.
You ate it, don't say
No, we
we.
ate it. No, you were saying. Production.
How many did you sell?
No, we did not say we ate it. Production.
No, I'm in production like this. Okay, so what are we saying? What I'm trying to say now is that don't say because I asked her that question, don't say because you are just I'm just selling peanuts. We are not yet in Africa empowering equipping or let's just be doing burger first of all. When we get there, what is your you're doing a business now? What is your fashion mission statement? Veal is veal now.
Veil. It's veil.
It's not VEAL.
Yes.
I went to school.
Yes, it's pronounced veil.
Then use don't insult my intelligence. If it is going to be veil, VAIL. You put VEAL, you're telling me it's veil. Am I uneducated?
I'm going to open that for you. Actually, it is veil.
Continue.
It's pronounced veil.
Continue.
My brand is to